the purified, Khadija wa Fatima. Credentials. These are the credentials. Now, Fatima wa Khadija. In the house of the Prophet ﷺ. Narrations from Tirmidhi and Nasa'i and others, especially with Fatima. Fatima was something. And Fatima was so beloved to Nabi ﷺ, and look how he treats his daughter. The last home he leaves in Medina, before he leaves Medina, is the home of Fatima. The first home that he enters Medina, when he comes to Medina, is the house of Fatima. When he comes to visit his daughter Fatima al-Zahra alayhi salam, she stands up for him. And she kisses him, and she seats him where she was sitting. And he does exactly the same thing for her. He used to call her Ummu Abiha, you are the mother of your father. And that's why he said, Fatima bid'atun minni. Fatima is a piece of me. The hadith. Fatima is a piece of me. Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. The Sayyid Aisha radiallahu anha al-Mu'mineen, she said, I saw Fatima al-Zahra coming. وَمِشْيَتُهَا, her walk, the walk of Fatima, is the walk of her father, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. See, identical. Aisha radiallahu anha saying this. She said she came, and her mishya, her walk, is the walk of Rasulullah, is not different by anything. Allahu Akbar. And she came, she wanted to tell him, Ya Rasulullah, her hands, majal means dead cells in her hands, because she's cleaning the house, she's grinding the wheat, she's doing all these things. She says, Ya Rasulullah, will you give us a servant? And the Nabi could have given her the whole ummah as servants. We are all servants for Fatima. Who is not a servant? Who is not servant for Fatima? The whole ummah was going to be servants. But the Nabi looked at the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. He tells her, Ya Fatima, should I give you something better than that? She says, yes. He says, you say 34 times Allahu Akbar, and 33 times Subhanallah, and 33 times Alhamdulillah, and that is better than the whole service. 34 times Allahu Akbar, 33 times Subhanallah, and 33 times Alhamdulillah. Fatima radiallahu anha went back to her home with a smile on her face, alaihi salam. And she did that thing, and that's how she lived. Notice the tarbiyah of Fatima al-Zahra. Let's go to her son al-Hasan. Al-Imam al-Hasan, a man comes to him and curses him. Calls him all kinds of names. You are this, you are that, you are this, you are that. Until the man was done. Imam Hasan told him, are you done? He said, yes, I'm done. What are you going to say? He says, brother, you seem like you're from out of town. You don't seem like you're from Medina. So if you're hungry, we will prepare some food for you. And if you need some clothing, we have some extra. And if you need a place to stay for the night, we also have a place for you to stay for the night. The man looks at him and he says, Allahu a'lam haythu yaj'alu risalatah. Allah knows best where he puts his message. In this household, a man knocks the door on Imam Hassan. Assalamu alaikum ya ahl bayt al-nubuwah. Wa alaikum assalam. And Imam Hassan realizes this man is begging, he's faqir. And I said the faqir is always, everybody's against him. Right? If you're faqir, everybody's against you all the time. If you're rich, everybody is with you. But if you're faqir, everybody is against you. يمشي الفقير وكل شيء ضده. الفقير, whenever he walks, everybody is against him. والناس تغلق وجوهها أبوابها. And people, they close their doors in front of him. But if it was a ghani, rich, everybody will come, inshallah, please come. الفقير, bother with him. He is poor, he doesn't have anything, why should I bother with him? Versus الفقراء are the salatin and the umara. الفقراء are the sultan, the real amirs, الفقير. Anyway, Look at Imam Hassan. We are learning from the household of the Prophet ﷺ because this is how he taught them. Imam Hassan doesn't open the full door. He opens the door just a little bit. Just a little bit. Why? He doesn't want the man to see him, and he doesn't want to have his eyes see the man. Why? Because he's begging. If you look at the face of the beggar while he's begging, he's heartbroken. He's heartbroken. He is humiliated. He's asking. And Imam Hassan did not want to even make him feel that feeling. He opened the door. The man told him, "لم يبق لي شيء يباع بدرهم." I have nothing left that I can sell even for 1 dirham. تكفيك رؤية منظري عن مخبري. If you look at my face, you can tell. You don't have to ask me. By looking at me, you will know that I have nothing left in this dunya. He said then, إلا بقايا ماء وجه صنته كي لا يباع وقد وجدتك مشتري. Except the honor of my face. I cannot sell my pride. Ya Imam Hassan is what he's telling him. I sold everything I have except the honor and the pride of my face. I do not want to sell that, and I know I came to you because you're one who would protect my honor and my dignity when you give me. Imam Hassan opened just a little bit of the door, and he said, عَجَلْتَنَا, you surprised me. فَأَتَاكَ وَابِلُ بِرِّنَا قَلًّا. Imam Hassan looked at his daughter, صلى على رسول الله. Imam Hassan looked at his daughter, he says, how much money do we have in the house? She says, we have 4,000 dirham, oh father. She says, bring it. His daughter, Fatima. He says, bring it, Ya Fatima. She says, Father, how many of it should I bring? He said, Ya Fatima, bring it. She says, Father, half of it, quarter of it. He says, Ya Fatima, bring it. What does that mean? Bring the whole money. She brought everything he had in his home. Opened the door a little bit and gave the money, threw the money away and closed the door. Told him this. He says, عَجَلْتَنَا, you surprised me by your visit. فَأَتَاكَ وَابِلُ بِرِّنَا قَلًّا وَلَوْ أَخَّرْتَنَا لَمْ نَقْصُرِي. Had you given me more opportunity, I would have prepared more money and more things for you. فَخُذِ الْقَلِيلِ. Take this little, 4,000 dirham. You live a whole year. But he says, خُذِ الْقَلِيلِ. Take this little thing I gave you. وَقُلْ كَأَنَّكَ لَمْ تَبِعْ مَا صُنْتَهُ وَكَأَنَّنَا لَمْ نَشْتَرِي. And pretend as if you've never knocked on my door and I have never spoken to you. Not that I have given something, no, I know I've given him. No. I've given him. Fatima, radiallahu anha alayhi salam, when Sayyid Fatima, and Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam sees her the next day of her wedding shining her ring. What ring? Ring that Ali ibn Talib was faqir. Amir al-Mu'mineen was a faqir. He doesn't have anything. He lived faqir, he died faqir. When he died, they found 7 dirhams. 700 dirhams that he under his bed. They said, why? They said, he wanted to buy a slave and free it for Allah. That's it. She's shining the ring. Next day, and Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam comes into Fatima to Zahra's home. Says, Ya Fatima, why are you shining the ring? Shining this ring, cleaning it. She says, Father, I love this ring very much. It's very beloved to me. It's what my Ali gave it to me, the money. She says, but since I love it so much, I decided to donate it to the faqir. And I want to clean it and give it in the best condition before I give it away. Because I know that the sadaqah goes to Allah before it goes to the faqir. The sadaqah goes to Allah before it goes to the faqir. The sadaqah is not of the worst things you have, but of the best things you have. She teaches it Imam Hassan. She sees him making dua, praying. She says, Ya Hassan, did you pray for your neighbors first? He says, Mother, how many neighbors should I pray for? She says, Ya Hassan, how many neighbors did you pray for? How many neighbors did you remember and pray for? How many neighbors are we?